about 4:52 a.m. and I've been pretty much in the house by myself for the last few days while my mother's hopefully being calmed down um at the hospital. She actually calmed herself down just enough so that she called my friend, and then my friend put me my friend had called me and then told me to mute my phone so that I could listen to her on the phone. So I muted the microphone, and I hear my mom. She was speaking to my friend calmly, and then but then she still had this thought in her mind that she has a case that she needs to open against a former employer, and you know she she still has the thoughts and ideas that my family and my sister and I were all plotting against her. We're helping the Fed against her so she can't win a case and get money that she needs back, or money that she wants, so it feels as old to her. And the thing is like her case, the case she's referring to. She been won that case, it's public record. Julia James versus Federal Reserve Bank of New York, you know. So that's public record. You could look that up online, you know. So let me see. So she's actually about to be, transferred to a rehabilitation center that's close to home. So I'll be able to go and check on her, or other friends and relatives, because she needs to, if it's like we say, is it if it's induced early onset dementia, she needs to see familiar faces, at least someone who's like a fresh face that's basically not gonna get her excited in a sense, and as you've seen from before I started this recording, you, they have their they're basically still radiating me, hitting me with frequencies and whatnot here. So and right now I'm laying on my bed, and my whole bed is vibrating. The whole bed is just vibrating. Um, and I haven't figured it out yet, but I don't know if you can hear it within the microphone. But do you hear that sound? It's like a very low humming sound of like something that's like vibrant. It's like I don't know what that is, but it's never been like that. Um, Prior to me moving to the Bronx, or even over the last I think couple of months that I just been here. Because remember, I moved back here back in October, of last year. That's when I moved back here. So yeah. So like I said, I got my mind focused on Luke chapter 12, verse 4 through 6. But the whole chapter of Luke 12 is basically um what I am, gonna rely on for the next phase. You know, so and the strange thing about it, because it was about, I think it was yesterday. Yesterday, the perps, they woke me up somewhere around like 3:30 in the morning or something like they normally do. And I was just, uh, was it three? No, I didn't wake up at 3:30. I woke up somewhere around 8 a.m. And I think tonight they woke me up around 3:30. They always wake you up somewhere around 3:30, and that's usually the time, if if you understand spiritual things, that's usually the time that dark spirits um are more, I guess that's like a time where they feel a lot more capable of interacting with the physical world. For whatever reason, it's that 3 a.m. to like somewhere that between that 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. If you understand dimensional portals or openings, that's usually the time that dark spirits usually have a window to try to affect the physical world. And that's in like most spiritual scriptures, or if study that type of thing, that's usually the time frame of when they most try to affect the physical world, especially when you're asleep. Because you always get disturbed if you're someone who's basically blessed by God, you are awakened within that time frame because you're being warned that you're under attack. You know, um, so yeah. Let's see. Yeah. So I mean, you can see I'm in my bedroom. So yeah. So basically, if you could see the angle from where that one unknown cell tower, the closest one, that's the one where I feel most of this magnetic, it's like a magnetic energy that's flowing directly towards my body. And right now I'm laying on my left hip, but my right hip feels like it's being like it's basically like right in the joint of the hip. Uh, yeah. So it's like right in the joint of the hip, and is it in the joint? Let me see. Yeah, almost as if like when you think about how osteoporosis is probably well, no, it's not that. It feels it's definitely it definitely is something that affects the hip flexor muscles. So, what they're probably doing is using pulse frequencies to try to see if they can destroy the tissue of the muscle or whatever. Anyway, yeah, it's sad though because when my sister came to visit yesterday, and she was in the house and she was saying, she's wearing like she got on like a leg brace, and then when she was trying to sit on the couch, she was just she I was just paying attention to whatever she may be feeling. And she said that her leg was probably, hurting her just a little bit more. She said, then when she said the words, she said, "Ouch, my leg is humming." Like there's a. She said there was like a pain, and then first thing that came to mind, I was like, well, let me check the positions of the towers right now. So I took my app out, and lo and behold, there was a tower, one of those unknown carrier towers that's like sitting, to the right of her or to the left of her. I was sitting on her right side, and when I stood up and I looked around, and I found one of those towers sitting to the left of her. And I was just kind of like, I thought so. Then, I almost felt like I wanted to tell her of what, she could be, dealing with, but, you know, she, she's just, she doesn't need to. I'm like, well, she really didn't want to know. I asked her, I was like, did you want to know? And then she was like, no, no, I don't want to know. So I was like, okay, she's still not ready to, receive this information yet. So I said, all right. I just kept it very basic, because remember, you can't force anyone to acknowledge this. And then you also have the other part where, like, you never know. Maybe they do know, and they're just trying not to talk about it. Because I mean, you get it. This is not something that probably anybody want to experience. But this is why God chooses certain people who will actually endure and who will take on everything that is being thrown at them, because someone in the world has to be righteous. Someone has to be righteous. Everybody can't go astray, or else there would be nothing left of humanity. If everybody went bad, God would just decide to destroy all of humanity all over again, because God has done it before. So somebody has to stand up for everything that's good in this world. So even if you have to give your life, it's throughout history that when people give their life for good causes, it usually sparks a change anyway. So somebody has to be righteous in this world, or else there will be no more humanity. And right now, even scientists already believe humanity itself is basically destroying itself, due to our greed and our need for power, and our need to want to, well, they're not even needs, but they're just impulses and thirst for monetary things, and all these things that can be taken away from us within a blink of an eye, but our spirits are still left empty. you know so yeah. So I don't know. Right now, well, today I have to go. And oh yeah, right. So before I get too off track, my mother did eventually call me. So that was a progressive sign. Because I know when I was on the phone with her, well, when I was listening on the phone with my friend and my mother, she was still dealing with these thoughts that we're trying to work against her, or more like she was telling my friend that her former employer was using us against her to basically lock her away in a rehabilitation or the hospital to prevent her from fighting the case. But her case has been closed, and then whatever answers that she's thinking she's going to find to help her with the so-called case, it's not going to be in I can't say that it's not, but as much as I went over Matthew's 12, verse 30 through 32, as much as I went over it myself, um, those three verses necessarily, um, I don't know, but I don't know. I basically told you, uh, I basically told you, what to look for. If you decide you want to look into her case, remember it's public record. Julia L. James versus the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. Then, if you want to look over the verse that she was looking at, Matthew's 12, verse 30 through 32. So if you see something that I don't, I mean, I'm just trying to, make sure I don't completely write off everything that she says, because I mean, it's only right. It's only right that I don't completely write off everything she said. But if nobody can find any correlation between the two or whatever, then, you know, I just have to accept the fact that the damage has already been done. And they've been using these towers to basically induce, psychological illnesses, and destroy neural synapses, and destroy nerves within the brain, affect, certain chemicals, or brainwave activities, um, especially through extended period of times. And then, if they can induce an illness, or actually prevent the flow of oxygen in the body, or prevent the flow of oxygen into the brain, that already can cause effects to the brain as well. So, but yeah, I'm gonna try to go back to sleep, because I've been up for probably like the last hour and a half or so, just trying to see if I could lay here and fall back to sleep. But I'm just hearing them, um, all through the voice transmissions and everything. Like I said, I've proven that I can actually record them, but it is a process to basically adjust the audio so that, I have to increase the volume, reduce the noise, reduce the background noise, then increase like vocals and stuff, and then eventually you'll be able to hear the transmissions themselves of, the synthetic telepathy of V2K. Um, so yeah, I'll keep everybody posted. Right now I'm fine. I'm doing all right. I have been. I done got to the point where I am now covering my head just about for as long as I possibly can without drawing too much attention to myself. And I've been using magnetic hematite to basically cover that portion of my neck that they are trying to use the frequencies to um, basically lock up my neck and head. So, I've been doing that, and that's been working pretty effectively for the last few days. So all right. If anything changes, I'll keep everybody posted. So as always, remember, take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Peace.